Welcome to the Friday Focus. My name is Dr. O from E&S Orthodontics, and I wanted to welcome you back. And this week, I'm going to actually be building upon a Friday Focus I did a couple weeks ago, where I talked about some of the hygiene products that we do offer in the office. But today, what I want to do is talk about specifically is how to brush your teeth while you have braces on. And this tends to be a challenge whether you're an adult or whether you're a child. So today, what I wanted to do was really start to give you a little bit of a breakdown on how to brush your teeth and what it goes into it, and how to use your toothbrush in order to make that happen. I wanted to give you a demonstration using this orthodontic model, and so one of the first things that I want to do is actually talk about the model and identify a couple key things. So for everyone, I want to identify this is the orthodontic wire, which is right here. And then this is the actual bracket, and it's actually glued to the tooth. And what I want you to see is that the bracket, and when it comes to brushing, there's really 5 surfaces that we're trying to brush. So there's the top surface of the bracket, which a lot of kids do pretty well at, and adults. And then there's the bottom part of the bracket, which we have to brush. And then the 2 sides, we got one right here, and then one right there. And then there's also the top part. Now the top part always adds the challenge, because if you can imagine, right here would be your lip. And so what we want to do is when we're brushing your teeth, whether you're using a manual toothbrush, which I have here, or whether you're using an electric toothbrush, what you want to do is really focus on all the surfaces of the bracket. And it's really like this. So if you really think about it, most kids and most people do what they call the scrub technique, which is actually brushing the teeth like this. And if you do it, you can notice that you're actually just brushing the top surface of the tooth. And so what you want to do is you want to do the scrub technique, but then you want to turn your toothbrush at a 45-degree angle and brush the underside. And when you brush the underside, you're going to be able to actually take the bristles of the toothbrush and actually come up to the sides of the bracket. And so that would be getting the 2 sides plus the bottom. And now this is the hard part. Turning your toothbrush upside down at a 45-degree angle and actually brushing the top of the tooth and the top of the bracket. And when you do this, what you want to also do is really get in the habit of actually pushing the bristles against the gums as well, so that you can get any food that's along the gum line away from the brackets in the tooth. So that's really the key in brushing your teeth. Again, there's going to be 5 surfaces. There's the top, the bottom. If you push the tooth bristles up to the sides, you get the sides of the bracket, and then you also want to get the top portion of that. And so that's really the proper technique of brushing with braces. And so what you're going to do is you're going to move your toothbrush along each side of the mouth and do this. And so if you really look at the toothbrush the way it's designed, it really is going to, depending on the size of toothbrush you have, it's usually going to cover either 2 teeth, maybe 3, depending if you have a large head. Now, we want to also remember you want to use a soft bristle toothbrush when you're doing this. That way you're really gentle on the gum line. So that's typically how we're going to brush our teeth. So, I don't care if you do circles but really what you want to do is just concentrate. So it's across, 45 up, 45 down, and brush things away from the gum line. So that's going to be the technique we're going to recommend that you use when you're taking care of your braces while you're in orthodontic treatment. Another way people like to brush is they use what we call this proxy brush. And so this is a little bit different than your toothbrush, but what this does is that this actually gets in between the 2 brackets, and you can actually get in between the teeth. So some people like using these proxy brushes to get the sides of the teeth. And so we make these available to you as well, and you can get these also from the pharmacy or any supermarket. And so these proxy brushes are really good because they're kind of focused. They look like a Christmas tree, and they can get in between the teeth as well. And so some people like using those. I find them to be also really effective at really getting on top of the brackets like that. And so that's really another way to use the proxy brush. So if you're a little bit more diligent, adults tend to like to use these. Getting children to get to use them is a little bit more challenge, but again, the basics thing is touching all 5 surfaces of the tooth. So those were 2 demonstrations on how to use a manual toothbrush and a proxy toothbrush to clean your teeth while you have braces on. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a hands-on demonstration on what we're looking for on how you should angle your toothbrush, whether it be a manual toothbrush or an electric toothbrush. The key is to get all 5 surfaces of the bracket clean and also to clean across your gum line. So if you do that, then you should be able to maintain healthy gums during orthodontic treatment, and it'll actually give us a more predictable result, and you really have a beautiful smile when you're all said and done, because not only will you have straight teeth, but if you do your due diligence and brush the way you're supposed to, then when your braces do come off, you'll have these brilliant straight teeth plus excellent gum tissue. So hopefully this helps. Next time we'll be talking about probably flossing or doing some other types of home care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the next Friday Focus.